Okay. Okay. So welcome, Alan. I'm so excited you're here. Alan and I had a great session. He's a mindset coach. I'll let him tell you more about exactly what he does and what he is, but he's so good at what he does. And so afterwards, I said, I really want you to come in. And Alan, we never have men in this group, hardly ever, not because of anything, but normally it's just women who come in because menopause and they know a bit more about it. But I felt that what you could offer would be really good for the women in this group. So please introduce yourself.
Well, Jay, thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to jump on here this evening with you guys. Thank you so much. I feel honored. I feel honored being the coming on here as the male who's in the group. It's as you said, you don't normally have people or men in, so thank you so much for this. And really what I'm going to go through this evening is the mindset that you guys can learn to adapt to take on going through the Christmas holidays, because I know you guys are all really, you're in a you're in a process at the moment. You're in a process of looking at a goal that you want to achieve, and you really want to keep that momentum going through the Christmas holidays, but at the same time enjoy the Christmas, enjoy the celebrations, enjoy the time that you're going to have with your family. So, like, who here has ever felt like the holiday season is both sort of exciting, but it's kind of a bit overwhelming as well? Whoever felt that way before? Yeah, exactly. And thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And who would actually like to know how to stay really focused on your health and your well-being while still enjoying the actual holidays? Who here would like to be able to do that as well? Have we got a chat? Oh, you have a chat box as well. Perfect. Are you guys all unmuted? Oh, you're all muted. Cool. So pop. Yeah, we'll use the chat box as well, so we keep the interaction going as well.
Just going to ask Maggie, do you want to come on screen?
Am I not on the screen?
No, you were, and then you went off.
Come on down, Maggie. Come on down.
Can you see me now?
No.
Because
it's
I'm
okay.
My phone, Jay, because I've had issues with my laptop.
You probably need to press on the screen and then click the video on. There'll be a red line going through the video. That's it.
Hey, nice to meet you, Maggie.
Nice to meet you too.
Brilliant. Thanks so much. So what we're going to go through in maybe the next sort of 30 to 40 minutes, okay, is how you can actually enjoy the holidays without feeling deprived, without feeling guilty. And then we're going to go through a simple way to feel calm and to feel confident during the holidays in any situation that you find yourself in, because it's important to have confidence in yourself when you're going and you're making a decision about what it is that you're going to eat, what it is that you're going to consume, but at the same time still enjoy yourself. And then how to actually shift your mindset so that you stay on track and still celebrate, still be joyful. So would that be helpful for your mindset so that you can stay on track and still enjoy everything that's going to happen? Would that be really enjoyable if we could do that? Brilliant. Absolutely. That's so cool. So as Jay said, my name is Alan PC Kenne. I'm an NLP practitioner, and I just love helping people who need to unlock the power of their mindset to sort of overcome challenges and to thrive, really. And I've been helping people in high stress situations like community first responders, like people who are starting up their own businesses, and then men, particularly men who are going through challenges in life, with substance abuse or with, again, trying to help their family out. And that's predominantly who I've been helping. I'm really just guiding them through the tough situations using the same tools, using NLP. So look, the holidays are not life or death, okay? But they do bring their own stress and their own struggle, right? All the time. So I'm here to show you how you can navigate this season with ease, with confidence, and then you'll be out the other side. And in fairness, the journey that you're on is a journey for life. So you can take this, what we're going to do today, with you into all areas of your life. That's the brilliant thing about NLP and these processes. So the holiday season, often feels like a test of willpower. It really does. But what if I told you it's not about willpower? It's actually about how you use your mindset to create the results that you actually want. Because you have to think of yourself and think of your mindset like a GPS, okay? If you don't program where you're going to go, you're just going to end up absolutely nowhere and not exactly where you want to be. But if you set the destination, if you set the result that you're looking for before ahead of time, well, then you can enjoy the holidays and stay on track. And you'll feel it'll feel right. It'll feel smooth, and there won't be as many detours as there might have been had you not set the destination, the results for what you're looking for. So I know you guys have done some mindset training before, but it's always good to go over it again. And it's really simple. If you think about yourself, I think about your brain. Your brain has two parts. It has the conscious mind, and then it has the subconscious mind. And you need to think of your brain a bit like an iceberg. Okay, this is where the willpower lives, the tip of the iceberg, the bit that you see. But in the subconscious mind, the bit that's underneath, that's where the patterns, that's where the beliefs, that's where the emotions that actually drive the decisions that we make, that's where they lie. So it's really important that we have an understanding and that we program that subconscious mind so that it is guiding us where we want to go. And today we're going to be doing some work which is going to be able to reprogram and program our subconscious mind so that your choices feel effortless and they are aligned with your goals. Because there's nothing worse than making a decision that you don't want to make, or you see something like, oh, I really want that, but at the same time, you're like, but I have my goal. I have the thing that I want to achieve. They don't align together. So you get to a point where you're just like, I'm happy with where I am now, and I'm happy not to consume this or consume that or whatever the case may be. I'm going to take this off because it keeps hitting the side of my head. All right. So you're going to learn tools which are quick, which are easy, which are actually proven to work. So whether you're on holidays, whether you're out at your Christmas party, whether you're out shopping, or just sitting down for that big family dinner, that big family meal. And if you're anything like my family, you'll be doing multiple of them over the Christmas period, multiple of dropping into people's houses, and there's always opportunities there to snack and whatever else. You'll be able to handle it. You'll be in control. So who would like to feel confident, feel calm, feel in control, no matter what the holiday throws at you? Who'd like to have that? Put your hand up. Excellent. Brilliant. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive into the first technique, because NLP is all about techniques. It's all about tools that you can train to your mindset, and then you actually do an action then in order to reinforce it. So we're going to do a tool called anchoring, which helps you to create and access a positive emotion whenever you feel and need it. Does that sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. And then by the end of the session, you'll actually have a second one. We're going to go through two of them. And again, you'll be able to take these and apply them in all areas of your life, not just for your health and not just for eating, but you can do it for work. You can do it for, the gym. You can do it for going for interviews, anything really at all. You can use these techniques for it. That's how brilliant they are. They're so changeable. So if we think about the holidays, a bit like a buffet, okay? At a buffet, you have endless choices, right? But just because everything is there, it doesn't mean you need to put it all on your plate, right? Instead, you can take what you really want and it will still leave you feeling good afterwards. That's where you want to get to. The same goes for holiday choices. Again, whether it's food, whether it's commitments, or whether it's social events, you don't have to say yes to everything. You get to choose what serves you the best. And this mindset shift alone, just that one alone, knowing that you have a choice, is going to help you feel more empowered instead of feeling overwhelmed. Because who here feels that expectation that they have to show up and they have to say yes and they have to go to everybody and they have to meet everybody and it's nearly impossible to say no? Who feels like that, right? the phone is constantly going with invitations, but knowing that you actually have a choice and the choice aligns with what you want, very powerful, guys. Very, very powerful. That's when you're listening to your intuition and you're listening to your heart. Can you see my heart? Behind. You're listening to your heart rather than your head. Okay, but we need to train the brain at the same time. So the first NLP technique we're going to go to is called anchoring. Okay, so anchoring is like creating your own emotional on switch. And it's a really simple process. And it's going to help you feel the way you want to feel in any situation, whatever comes up. So let's say, for example, that you're heading to a family gathering, okay? And you know that there's going to be some triggers there. You know there's going to maybe be some stress, there's going to be some temptation, or that one of the family members who has always something to say about something. All right? Who's ever been in those situations before, right? So you can use anchoring to create a feeling of calm and confidence before you even walk in the door. How beneficial would that be? Right? So here's how you actually create the anchor. All right. So is anybody holding their phone right now at the moment, or have you got it balanced on something? Perfect. Everybody's got free is free to be able to put that. Perfect. So I'm going to explain it, and then we're actually going to do the process. Okay. So it's very simple. All you're going to do is you're going to close your eyes. Okay, and you're going to think back to a time recently. It could be just recent or in the near or the recent past, and you're going to go to that moment and you want to bring up a feeling from that moment. Maybe it's a feeling of calm, maybe it's a feeling of joy, maybe it's a feeling of confidence. Okay, and then you're going to make that memory really vivid, really clear. Go back to that moment now and see yourself and hear the things that you heard and actually feel that feeling of confidence coming through you and see everything around you. Make it really bright, make it really big, and be in that moment right now. Could be calm, could be joy, could be confidence, whatever it is, just sit in that feeling. And as you feel that feeling coming through you, allow that feeling to come through you from your head all the way down to your shoulders and your chest and your stomach and your legs, and back up again, and increase that feeling through you. What I want you to do is I want you to take your middle finger and your thumb and just push them together ever so slightly and create that anchor. Okay? Create that anchor. And then increase that feeling of confidence or calm, and increase that feeling of feeling up coming through you. And as it gets to the strongest peak of that feeling, I just want you to let go of your finger, your middle finger and your thumb, just release them. And then you can let that feeling come down and just open your eyes and just come back into the room just for a moment. I see a couple of people shifts there as you were going through that now. Yeah? Cool. So that was just the explanation, but I see if people were doing it at the same time. So we're going to do it another couple of times. So and again, I can send these instructions through afterwards, so you'll be able to do this yourself. So again, just close your eyes for a moment. Okay. Close your eyes. And again, think back to a moment in the recent past or sometime just not too long ago, whenever, play a time that you felt really calm, really joyful, really confident, and go back to that moment. See yourself in that moment now, looking through your own eyes, hear what you heard, feel what you felt, feel the feelings of just confidence coming through you. And as you feel that feeling coming through you, just with one hand, Jay, take your middle finger and your thumb and just push them together. That's your anchor. And then increase that feeling through you. Actually feel that feeling come all through you, from your head, down through your shoulders, down through your chest, down to your legs, down into the earth, back up again through your arms, through your legs, through your chest, through your arms, shoulders, neck, head, and just feel that feeling coming through. You can even put a color around it if you want. Whatever your favorite color is, see yourself as that color. Feel that color in you now and increase that confidence. Build it up inside you. And as you get to a peak, as it gets to the top of the peak of the feeling, when you get to that point, just let go of your anchor, release your middle finger and your thumb, and just let that feeling dissipate back down through you and into the earth. And as it goes down through you, you can just open your eyes, go back into the room just for a moment. Awesome. That's amazing. You guys are so good at this. And it's interesting because I can, when I'm watching people do this, I'm watching you guys do it, you can see the feeling coming through you. You actually make a physiological shift in your body because your brain, your mind is going back to that time. It's going back to that moment. All right, we're going to do it one more time again. So when you're ready, just close your eyes. Okay, awesome, brilliant. Now go back to a time in the past. Whatever comes up is right for you, with how you felt really calm or really joyful or really confident, whatever it was, and go back to that time now. See yourself in that moment, looking through your own eyes, looking around you, hear what you heard, feel what you felt, see what you saw, and really feel those feelings of calmness and joy and confidence. That's it. That's it. Just let it, just enjoy that. Go back to that moment, make it really bright. See all the details, all the color. It can be movement or it could just be a picture. Whatever's right is right for you. And as you feel that feeling, put your finger and your thumb together and then start to increase that feeling inside you, increase that calmness, increase that joy, and increase that confidence in yourself. You are in charge. You are in control of how you feel and how you think and what you say and what you do. And feel those feelings of confidence come all the way down through your head, through your neck and your shoulders, through your chest, all the way down your legs, into the earth, down to the earth's core, and back up through the earth, through your legs, through your chest, through your arms, through your shoulders, through your neck, through your head, and up into space. Whatever that feeling is, give it a color, whatever your favorite color is, make it that color, and just see yourself lighting up as that being, as that being of calmness, as that being of joy, as that being of confidence, and enjoy it. Increase those feelings and just live it. And as you get to the peak of those feelings, that it can't get any stronger, just release your finger and your thumb and let that feeling dissipate down now through you, through your shoulders, through your legs, down into the earth, and let it go back down. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back into the room again. Very cool. Very cool. Who would like who would like to share how they got on during that exercise? Anybody like to share anything at all? That's okay. That's all right. Because these things can be very personal as well. You know, you're in that moment. But know now what you have done is you have created a neurological link between that feeling and the pressing of your thumb and your middle finger together. That's the anchor that you've created now. And the more you do that, like if we had the time, and I'd suggest you do this afterwards, do that 10 or 12 more times. Just it's very simple. You just close your eyes, go back to a time, step into that moment, feel those feelings, put your anchor on, bend just your middle finger and your thumb together like this, and then just sit in that moment and just allow those feelings to come through you. Because what'll happen there now is when you want to get into that state again, whether you want to feel those feelings again, all you need to do is put your fingers together. Who here has ever felt a rush of energy when they feel it and they hear a song on the radio that they really love? Yeah, yeah, exactly. You feel that it's the same thing. The music triggers the memory. It triggers the emotion. It triggers the state, and you're all like, "Yep, I'm ready to go." Everybody does it, right? So why not create your own? Okay, because we always don't have access to music, and what we can do is create these little touches. You'll see people online do some of the biggest presenters all the time. Tony Robbins does it all the time. He primes himself before he goes on stage. That I can't remember your man's name of Mind Valley. He does it all the time. He has his fingers and he's channeling that state of confidence into himself or calmness, whatever he needs before he talks. I do it the same thing with music and I visualize what it is that I want to see, who I want to be. And you can do the same. So again, think about it. You're about to go over to the house party, or even you're having guests over to your house. And of course, You're trying to get everything together. You're trying to get everything ready. You're trying to get there on time. And you feel that state coming over. You're like, you're losing a bit of control. Like, oh my God. And of course, when we start to panic, well, then we start to eat, right? Who here is like that? That's totally me, for sure. When I'm stressed, I'm like, yeah, everything. But we want to be able to change our state. So we just take a few moments. We just access, close our eyes. You don't even have to close your eyes if this is strong enough, but you can. Close your eyes, put your anchor on, and you'll feel that feeling of calmness coming through you. It'll put you back in that time. It may not be visual, you may just feel it. Some people just feel the emotions, or some people go back to a moment where they had calm and they feel that they're in that place. Because in your mind doesn't know the difference. Your mind, if you go to that place and you create that, and I can't remember where I heard this before, creating this relaxation space, your own one. You can create your own like relaxation spa in your own head, and you just go there. You just go there for a few minutes before you need to go to your family event or you have people over, and it just puts you in a good calm state. So of course, then you're going to make better decisions because you're going to be more in control. So that's like that tool is training your subconscious mind, the part of you that's underneath the iceberg that we don't know, that we don't, not that we don't know about, that you know about now, but that controls 95% of our decisions and how we act and what we think and then what we do. And that's what we need to be more in control of. We're all consciously aware of the things that we shouldn't do, but we still do them, right? You know, we still do it. And you're telling yourself, I shouldn't be doing this, I shouldn't be doing this. But again, if we can train our subconscious mind to be aligned with who we want to be and the results that we want to achieve, and then we can get ourselves and we can be more in control of our emotions, which again takes time. I'm no expert at it. I understand the science behind it. And these are the exercises that we need to do to get ourselves into the state so we can actually make the decision. But again, becoming more in control, becoming more aware, learning what we're doing here tonight, and then practicing, applying the techniques, not just learning it, hearing, oh, yeah, that makes sense. That's cool. All right. Yeah. But if we don't actually apply it, well, then we can't say that we've done everything that we could. Okay. And that, my friends, for sure is not aligned and congruent with who you want to be and things that you want to say. All right. So did everybody get something out of that so far? Is that good? Yeah. Brilliant. That's really, really cool. So again, you can I'll pop in the I'll pop into the group there, into the chat, just those steps. Ajay, you're after did it go? Yeah, I did, but it's not in step format. 1, 2, 3. Anybody have any questions so far as we're going through what we've gone through so far? You're so quiet, guys. I suppose
ladies.
don't be shy. I don't bite. I know it's a Tuesday evening.
No, it's helpful. That is really helpful.
Brilliant. That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that. Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. All right, there. Sent. Perfect. There's the steps to it. Brilliant. All right, cool. So the next technique, okay, because like I said, NLP is all about techniques. This is a fairly simple one. And Jay and I would have studied this a lot when we're working with our coach as well. And it's the process of reframing. Okay. And reframing, excuse me, is simply looking and teaching yourself to see a situation differently in a new light. It's like putting on rose tinted glasses or taking them off, whatever way you want to look at it. But you start to see things differently and you start to feel less overwhelmed and less negative about the situation that you find yourself in. And again, the more you practice this, and again, this, I say, reframing for me has probably been one of the biggest shifts in my life since I started practicing NLP and mindset like 5 years ago, because you just start to see things differently. And you start to recognize that people see the world completely different to how you do. It's like, you know, you guys are putting yourselves through a process now at the moment with Jay, and you had a choice to do it, and some people choose not to, and they choose to try to do things themselves and not get the results that you guys are going to get. And some people say, I'm really important and I honor myself and I respect myself, and I'm going to put myself number one, and I'm going to show up and I'm going to follow a mentor who's been there before. And they just look at the situation completely differently. And the more open you are, well, then the more you're going to learn, then the more you're going to grow, and the more you're going to achieve your goal. It's simple. Okay. So reframing is exactly that. So let's say, for example, that you're at a party, okay, and someone offers you dessert, okay, and that dessert doesn't align with your goal, the goal that you want to achieve, okay. So instead of thinking to yourself, I can't have this, because might be the first thing that you come across. Oh, I can't have this, and that which is quite negative. When you say you can't have something, that you're depriving yourself of something, it's generally not a nice feeling, and then you go into a bit of a oh, you feel a bit shit about yourself, right? You feel like you're punishing yourself, because nobody likes to say no to themselves. Cake or whatever else has been offered, nobody likes to say no, but if we can reframe it in a different way and we can think to ourselves, I'm choosing to enjoy the company that I have and focus on how great I'll feel later. Totally different way and totally different feeling is going to come through you as a result of thinking that way, rather than I can't have this. No, I'm actually choosing to just enjoy the company that's around me, enjoy the conversation. I don't need that to enjoy the conversation, do I? No, not really, not at all. The cake or the whatever it is, the dessert has nothing to do with the conversation. It's like when some people decide not to drink anymore, that people think that they won't be able to go out or to interact with other people just because they don't drink alcohol anymore, or they're taking it off for a certain period of time. It's like, well, no, you still have the company. You know what I mean? I think it's maybe the person who feels awkward about the other person not drinking, maybe they should be looking at themselves. But it's looking at it from that way. So again, I'm choosing to enjoy the company, and I'm focused on how great I feel later. And that's a massive one when it comes obviously to alcohol. When you wake up the next day and you're not hungover anymore, you're just like fresh as a daisy, ready to go, right? That's I'm 2 years off drinking now this Christmas, and it's like I feel amazing waking up every day. So look at it that way. Reframe the situation. It's not that you can't have it, it's that you're choosing not to. You're choosing to feel amazing and hit your goal and enjoy the company that you're in. And the cake has nothing, or the dessert has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with it. You just take it away completely. And by changing the way that you think about the situation, you'll actually change your emotional response. You'll have a different feeling inside you. You'll actually feel confidence inside you. You'll feel very empowered, and you'll be like, yeah, I said I wasn't going to do it and I didn't do it. Wait, check out me. If I can tell myself that I'm not going to do this and then not do it, well, then what else can I tell myself I'm not going to do and I won't do? Or what else am I going to say that I can do? And actually, I'm going to follow through with it. All right. These are small, they seem insignificant. They do at the time, but it's not until you're in the situation, when you're in that moment. And again, I've gone through phases like that before, when I've gone through different programs when I'm changing my body. And you see something there, and you get to a point, where initially it's like, okay, no, I know my goal. I'm focused on my goal, and this is what I'm going to do. Thank you very much. And you keep doing that enough times, you don't even want it's not part of you. It's just like, no, I'm over here right now. I'm on this track. I'm on track for getting to where I want to get to. I know if I keep on this track, and you can see the results in the mirror every single day, or you see it on the scale, or you see it in whatever it is you're wearing, whatever again, it's not all about numbers. It's just, it's all about how you feel, but you'll feel like a rock star when somebody offers you something and you're like, nah, do you know what? I'm actually just in. I'm sticking where I am for the moment. I'm actually fine, having a great time. Thank you so much. Because people are like, can you get that? Somebody will say, "Are you sure? Are you sure? Is everything okay?" You know, they think there's something fucking wrong. Excuse my Irish for cursing. They're like, they think there's something wrong with you. It's like, no, I'm okay. I don't need it right now. Thank you so much. You wait, and you see it, and hopefully they won't feel too self conscious about it, because obviously people love to eat crazy over Christmas. But look, it's only a couple of days of the year, but yeah, so the actual steps, because there are steps to doing this, and I'll just give them to you really quickly. So, because you can apply this to everything, and the more you practice it, the better that you get at it. And again, our coach that we do this with, me and Jay, Ava, she does it on her phone. All right, and it's about situations that come up, and she recognizes the feelings that come up. Then she asks herself, are those feelings true? The answer is no. Do they help me? No. What do I want to think instead? But you don't have to go into that many details. You can just do this really quickly, okay? So number one is you identify the challenge or the thought that's bothering you about the situation. Okay, so it is maybe, again, somebody's offering you something, and you can have these lined up already before you go to your party, or before you have people over, before you go out for the wherever the celebration is, or whatever the situation, even around your own house, you know. You can say, well, the challenge is going to be, that there's going to be treats, and there's going to be chocolates, and there's going to be this, there's going to be that around me, and it's going to be offered to me, and the thought is that I want it, that I'm going to want it. But then I'm going to ask, and number two is I'm going to ask myself, you know what is that thought? What else could it mean? What else could that thought mean? That like the one that says I can't have this. What's a different way of saying this? What's a different way that I could view this situation? What's a more empowering narrative and story that I could mean, that I could tell myself, that means about this situation, that what's telling me that no, I can't have this, or the food is bad, or it's not good for me, or if I eat this, I'm going to be, because again, a lot of people, they feel really bad if like, and again, I'd implore you, if you are over the Christmas time, you're not, you're not locking yourself away. You want to enjoy yourself. That's the point of this. You want to enjoy the celebrations and have fun and treat yourself, for sure. If you go mad for a day, don't go crazy. Like, you don't beat yourself up. It's one day out of 365. You're on a path, you're on a journey here at the moment, and it won't make any real difference. But if you're saying to yourself, if you're hearing that voice inside you, which saying that, oh, look, you're not strong enough to be able to resist what's going to be put in front of you. If you eat that, well, it means you're a failure. If you take this, you're going to absolutely ruin the track that you're on. If you're getting any of that negative type of talk, you need to stop. You need to write it down if you can, and then ask yourself, what's a different way that I could view this? And for example, if again you could say instead that there's going to be this is a test, and I love tests. This is a sign, and a sign to me that I'm confident and I am in control. This, by not having what it is that I really don't want in any way, it's me showing me that I love myself. And even if I do have something small or big, whatever the case may be, that doesn't mean my whole plan is ruined. That doesn't mean my whole journey is ruined. All right. So create something that's more powerful, because you get to write your own story. You get to choose the meaning of your own thoughts. And it's the one that gives you the better feeling, that makes you feel more empowered. That's the one that you want to move towards. And then you just replace that original thought with the new perspective that feels empowering, that is actually you making the conscious choice. Okay? That's actually you being in control of the reason why you do eat something or you don't eat something. All right? It really is, it's down to you making that choice and recognizing why you're doing it. Some people, and again, I'd be guilty of this as well, eat late at night because I feel tired. I'm just like, just go to bed. You know, don't stop on the way to the bed. Don't stop in the kitchen. Don't, you know, recognize what's happening there. You're actually feeling tired, and that's why you go to eat something. It's just like, well, hang on. I recognize what it is. I know I'm tired. So I'm going to show myself that I have control over myself. I'm going to go straight to the bedroom with a bottle of water, and I'm going to go straight to bed. Okay. And if I do happen to pass by the fridge and it does happen to open, I do happen to take something, I'd be like, all right, we understood why that happened, and we're gonna recognize that we should have got to bed quicker and seen the steps that were in place beforehand to have avoided it in the first place. You know, so look, another example is, again, a lot of people would say this is, I have no willpower. I have no willpower. I'm not really in control. You know, sometimes I feel like I'm really ahead, that I'm really in control, but then other times I don't. They just say, "Oh, I don't have any willpower. I'm not strong enough." Okay? Change that. Change that narrative completely to something like, I'm learning to make choices that align with my goals. I'm learning that I am in control and that I know what I need to do to feel more empowered. I'm making the decision to choose the result that I want in the months to come, rather than the imminent or the instant gratification that I'll get right now. And just change the way you think about it. Because as well, also, when you think about that end results, the person you're becoming, you'll start to visualize that person. You'll start to see that person. You'll start to see who it is that you want to be. And when you can visualize that and put yourself in that state very, very quickly, well, then again, that changes your physiology. And that would be like, yeah, that's not something my future self would do. That's me taking me away from my future goal rather than helping me get to it as quickly as possible, whatever that goal may be, of course. So practice reframing. And again, these are thoughts that come into your head. This is the thing, you know, nobody's actually going to say these things. These are the things that you say to yourself. And you need to learn to catch them and recognize that they don't serve you. They're not empowering you. They're honestly making you feel like shit. And then you say to yourself, well, okay, how can I look at this differently? What's a different way that I can see this that's going to make me feel more empowered? And it's usually something about, I'm learning. I don't always do this. This is going to help me. This is going to serve me. This is aligned with my goals. It's something empowering. Okay. It's something encouraging that in fairness, imagine that somebody, your friend said it, you heard your friend saying it to themselves. What would you say? Like if your friend said to you, you know, I have no willpower in this time, would you say, yeah, you're right, you don't. You're too weak for this. No. At least I hope you don't. At least I hope you don't say that to them. You say, no, of course you do. You're strong, you're powerful. You'll be able to do this. Oh, do you know what? I'll do it with you. You know, and that's what's great about having a community like this. This is what you all can do. This is what you all can do. And I'm sure you're in a WhatsApp group, you know, as well. You know, when somebody does a reframe on something that they hear, share it with everybody else, because they'll want to hear it as well. Because you can borrow these. You can borrow these from each other. And as you create really good ones, and you'd be like, oh, I was in this situation and I saw I wanted it, and you know, it was right there in front of me, but I said to myself, no, you know, this is a challenge. This is something that's going to take me away from my goal. You know, I feel empowered. I made a decision, and the decision was to choose me and the result that I'm looking for. Yay, me, go. And then you share it. And people are like, wow, that's so cool. She can do it. I can do it. You know, very, very cool. I get too excited to talk about this. Look, they're just two very, very simple NLP techniques, but very powerful at the same time if you practice them. Okay, you'll get every moment of every day. You'll get a chance to reframe the situation. You really will. They happen all the time, in all walks, in all areas of life. Not just for, it's not just for that. It's like, what's that the thing? Dogs are not just for holidays; they're for life. And reframing is not just for the holidays, it's for life, because you'll get chances to do this all the time. Because again, it's the little voice inside you who's telling you that you're not good enough and yada 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 yada. You just tell him to park it and tell yourself something that's more empowering. The anchoring, on the other hand, again, is a technique, takes a couple of minutes, But again, I'd encourage you to practice it just for a couple of moments every day, or when you're sitting in your car, or anything really, and just close your eyes, put yourself back in that moment, anchor it, feel the feelings, see everything that's happening, and feel that feeling inside you. And I was saying you can do it lots of different ways, like with colors or with whatever, light, yeah, whatever comes to you is the right way for you. It's everybody, like it's whatever way you want it, and then just sit in that state, so that when you're walking into your party, or you're having people over, or you're out at Christmas parties, that you are in a state of I am in control, because ultimately you are in control if you're aware that you're in control. If you lose the awareness, or you're not taking the steps, well then, you'll just let your subconscious mind will take over, and you'll just repeat the patterns. You'll listen to the voice, and it's a slippery slope. So you need to support each other as well with these techniques as well, and practice them. So that's all I really wanted to be able to impart with you guys today. I was going to do a little visualization, but we already did a little bit already. So listen, I want to thank Jay again so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys got something, and you're feeling a little bit more empowered and a bit excited to be able to use these tools over the holidays. And remember, it's not about being perfect. There's no perfect with these things. It's just about making choices that make you feel the best way you can. All right. So, like I said, don't beat yourself up. Please don't. If you slip off your plan here and there over the next couple of weeks, okay? It's not the end of the world, okay? You're on a journey. You're on a journey, all right? But you can use these techniques, and you can be aware of, again, how the subconscious mind is really in control, but how you have the power to be able to take back the reins, and to be able to actually say, do you know what? I'm making a conscious decision today to do this or to not do this, whatever the situation is. And that will increase your own confidence in yourself, and your own ability in yourself to be able to do whatever you put your mind to. All right. So again, thank you so much, Jay. I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys, for listening. And if you guys have any questions at any stage, you can send them to Jay, or just send them to me. There's no hassle whatsoever. Jay will put up a link for me or whatever. And be happy to support you in any way I can.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
Ellen.
Ellen. I just wanted to ask, does anyone have any questions now? Are you happy to answer a couple of questions now? They've got
If anybody has anything that they'd love to ask at all, no hassle whatsoever.
any questions, ladies? How did you find it? How did you find the techniques? Are these something that you feel you can use?
Yeah, definitely. They're easy techniques, aren't they, that you can just do. And like you said, like Alan said, it's good to practice it, especially like with the protocol with Christmas. I was just thinking today, like I went out for dinner with some friends, and I couldn't eat what everyone else was eating. And I was okay then, and like Alan said, I just enjoyed their company. And but then there was lots of questions. Why are you doing it? Why aren't you eating? Why aren't you? Other people feel sorry for you, don't they? But it's kind of, but I'm like, no, I'm fine. But then, like today and yesterday, I kind of felt, oh, I was feeling a little bit deprived, and I was just ignoring it. So it's quite interesting to just kind of, okay, I've got to write why was I feeling this way? How can, because I've got a few more dinners planned tomorrow and
Yeah.
the next day. So it's just like, okay, how can I change that really?
Yeah. And look at it this way as well.
Rima. Rima.
Rima, sorry, Rima.
Yeah.
And look at it this way. You had a choice to eat anything that they were eating. It's not that you couldn't. You
Yeah.
made the empowering choice to say that I don't want to. I'm going to choose what I want to eat, because what they're eating doesn't align with who I want to become. Do you know?
Yeah.
Like, again,
Yeah.
it's all about choice, and you have the choice. They have the choice. And you just chose the route, and you stayed to you stuck with your gut, and you stuck with your intuition, which I understand. I get at the time, especially when people start bombarding you with questions. It's like the alcohol thing. You're not drinking, and I'm Irish. You're not drinking. What's wrong with you? There's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with me. It's just I choose not to. People
Yeah,
think,
and then it's like, how much do you share with them? Oh,
Yeah.
it's because like it's that as well, isn't it? It's just like it's
yeah,
none of your business. But I'm just
Yeah,
decided, like so it's deciding what you're going to say to people as well,
yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it?
yeah, absolutely. And you can prepare something like that beforehand. You really
Mm.
are. And it's as simple as I'm on a fitness, I'm on a health journey at the moment, and I'm loving it, and I'm feeling amazing, and how I'm looking after my body. I just feel so confident in myself at the moment. So I'm just gonna keep doing that, and they're gonna be like, what are you doing? And they'll change their perspective. They'll be
Yeah.
more, tell me more, tell me
Mm,
more about this, because again, if, when you made that conscious decision to say, like, it's not that I can't have it, it's that I choose not to. I choose to
mm,
choose life. But then I feel more empowered and I don't feel guilt. Maybe I'd say, you said afterwards you felt a bit guilty afterwards, but in the moment, it's like that guilt will go away in the future because of how the conversation will come afterwards the next time around. You make that decision, and I feel confident in myself making that decision, and this because I'm on this journey that I'm on right now. And again, I forgot what I was going to say. They'll lean in to what it is that you're doing, and again they'll want to know, well, why, you're really confident in what you're in yourself and how you're looking after yourself. And again, they'll want more information about it, more likely, or they're less likely to lead with those probing questions of, is there something wrong with you? Is do you need to talk about it, or is there something happening?
mm,
That won't come up, that won't happen, which again will lead you away from that feeling of guilt that you've missed out on something, because you haven't. In fact, you have shared with your group an opportunity. You've shared with them. You've heard of, that there's always somebody that has to go first when somebody's trying to change, when somebody wants to change a part of their life, when they want to grow. And you tend to be that, if you're that person, which I know you are, and you know that you are, well then people start looking at you differently. It's really a sign of your growth, and what you're going to create is curiosity of why you're doing these things. And initially people they question it because it makes them look at themselves. They're like, oh well, if no, you can't be different, you're not allowed to do something, you need to stay with us, you need, because we do this,
mm,
we're doing the same thing. So you can't do, and that's how the questions are. Is there something wrong with you? Do you need to, why do you talk about this, or why are you doing this? What, like, why would you want to be healthy? What, like, because subconsciously for
No,
them,
yeah. Yeah, because
consciously for them, you're doing something different, which is outside of their comfort zone.
mm,
mm,
And and then they think to themselves, well, if you're growing, does that mean I have to grow? And what sets in there is fear. And they go,
mm,
oh, I need to change. And then they start looking at themselves, because I guarantee it, as you're going through this journey, and people, however you're documenting it, or even if it's closed circles, people will say, they'll meet you at intervals along this process. They meet you at a month, then they meet you at 2 months, then at 3 months, then at 6 months, and they'll be like, initially it's like, why are you doing something different? Because I want to look after myself, and I want to be a better version of myself, and I want to feel amazing. Like, oh yeah, very good look at that. That one, and then you see it 3 months and you're still doing it. And now you're showing up at Christmas dinners and Christmas outings, still disciplined and knowing what it is that you're going for. All the image already up here of who you're going to be. And then people start taking you seriously. Like, all right. And then that's when the fear in themselves kicks in, because they're like, shit, she's doing something for herself. Maybe does that mean I have to do something for myself? And they try to pull you back. They try to pull you back in by asking these questions, which, if you think about it, they're not very encouraging. They're not really empowering you at all. So look, that part of it, and I'm not, and you're not I'm not out encouraging or saying that you're going to lose your friends, or you need to push them away or anything like that. You just have, all you do is have the confidence in yourself. to know why you're doing what you're doing, to make the decisions that you want to make that are going to help you and serve you, and then change that little narrative in your head, which is going to be I'm choosing. It's not that I can't, it's I choose not to. I choose to do something for me. I don't have to do that. I can do that if I want to eat everything if I want to. I just choose not to. I choose the future me over the current, gratification of having something that isn't going to serve you. So does that help?
It does. But I've got a little bit of a follow-up question, if you don't mind, unless
Yeah.
there's somebody else that wants to ask.
Really have time for them all.
Yeah, no, it's just like how you can be not only it's not always other people, it's how you talk to yourself. Like I really love what you said about just being confident with it. But sometimes you don't feel confident.
Yeah.
Then you're questioning yourself and you're your own worst enemy. Like, do you have any suggestions for that?
Yeah. So is this in a certain situation that's coming up on repeat? Is this a certain situation that you find yourself in?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, like I do. I have these peaks, and like with the protocol that I'm on at the moment,
Yeah.
sometimes within myself I'll be like, yeah, I'm really positive about it, and then I'll feel not so positive, and then I'll be like, oh, in a slump kind of thing. So it's kind of
Yeah.
kind of
The peaks and troughs.
yeah, that
Yeah,
kind of
absolutely.
thing.
It's not simple to explain, and but there is a process, and I'd love to go through it with you on a one-to-one. Okay, it's because, and to break it down very simply, you're made up of lots of parts, not just arms, legs, toes. I mean parts of your personality, parts of you. Okay, and in every situation, you have a part of you that's the confident you that wants to go for your goal, that wants to achieve amazing things and wants that result. Okay, that's one part of you. But you've also got this other part of you who is afraid. He's full of fear. He's full of, what if I fail? What if I succeed and then I fail again? And what will that mean if I become that person? And who does that mean I want? And who is it that I need to be? Who it is that I'll have to stay as? Okay, so that's just two of your parts, and those two parts are in conflict. Okay, the two of them are in conflict, but they both, at the bottom of their core being, their values nearly, they both serve you in a way. Okay, and this process is called parts integration. It's where you bring these two parts of you together by questioning why they both exist. Okay, why are they serving you? Because they both serve you in a positive way. It's just we don't generally see that part of you, the one that's disempowering. Sorry, this hand, the one that's saying that you might be a failure, you might fail things, or da 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 da. He has to say that because that's your growth. That's you getting out of your comfort zone. Okay, and when you bring those two parts together, and you see that they're there to serve you, well, then what you do is when you're talking about those peaks and troughs, your low points, you start to bring that low point up. You raise your standard. You raise your standard up. And again, I'm just using my hands here. But again, it's a terrible way of explaining it. But basically, you bring your low points up so they start to become your high points. Okay, you're raising your standards. You're changing your identity of who you are because you're always going to need to keep growing. You're always going to need to keep growing. And it's about understanding that if we have that part, you can call it resistance. Sometimes people call it resistance, that low point. Recognizing that is happening and doing the thing that you should do anyway. Because we all have that thing that we know we should do, like bypassing the fridge and going straight to the bed. We know we should do it, okay? And just being very disciplined about that. And the more we do it, the more we keep making those decisions. It's kind of like, so you'll have that thought, as you said, sometimes you get that voice inside your head which is telling you, geez, what if I can't do this? And what if I fail? And da 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 da. But you know what it is that you should do to avoid that, you know the action that you need to do, you do that in any way. You go and do that, and you bypass the negative talk telling you to do the opposite. It's a skill. It takes practice. It takes time. Okay, but the more you lean into the negative, the more you lean into the thing that's telling you, the thing that you know you should do, well, then the more you'll be bringing up those low points to start to become your high points, and your high points will start to become even higher because you'll be start to grow. You'll always, the bigger the challenge, the more obstacles you're going to have. It's just the way it is. And bigger goals mean bigger problems, mean bigger challenges. That's just how it is. You don't go backwards. If you want a big massive goal, you're gonna have big massive problems. Not problems, challenges. Sorry, challenges. And leaning into that. Okay, and knowing that that's going to happen. Now, again, the process of it, I'd love to go through it with you sometime. It doesn't take too long, but actually to see that, because those two parts are serving you. They're there to help you. They're there to serve you, and then recognizing them when those points are going to happen. It's like, it's simple things, like knowing when you should go to bed, and you don't. You sit up for 2 hours watching Netflix when we've all done it. That's the resistance. That's the example. This is a perfect example. You should go to bed.
Example, yeah.
But we sit up for 2 hours. So you're like, that's where you and your mind would be screaming at you, go to bed, don't sit down on the couch, because you know when to sit down. You gotta get better at practicing those things and combining the visualization of who you want to be and how you want to become and how you show up. It's just, you're slowly, you've seen that picture before of, you start everybody starts off as a piece of clay, and you're just slowly making little chips away, banging away with a little hammer, to eventually you're becoming the person, the identity that you want to be. Okay, it's not freaking easy. It isn't. Okay, but you have your whole life to do it. That's the thing. All right, these are not overnight. And the way I talk, you think I'm a genius at this? No way. It takes practice at it. It takes real practice. And it takes accountability, and it takes constant learning. That parts integration that I was just mentioned there is an NLP technique, but I learned a whole new way of thinking about it there just like last week with that resistance piece, and then the actual application. So there's always something more to add on to it and to learn about it. But having Jay here, having a mentor, having somebody a coach that you can lean into, in those times, is so important to keeping you on track and to keeping you accountable. And during those tough times, when you just, like you said, you're not encouraging yourself, when your confidence is low, when you feel that you're going down into those troughs, into those low points, that you're like, I need help at this time. I need help to get myself out of it. And then leaning into those around you. And I tell you, it'll be funny, because funny in a good way. You'll be telling yourself that don't reach out to anybody because they don't want to hear your problem right now. Your own mind will be trying to not support you in you asking for help, for support. That's how effed up that can get. All right.
That's so true.
So true. Because we feel like we're a hindrance to everybody, and we don't want to burden anybody with our problems, and we think that we should be able to handle this ourselves because we're adults. We know best. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. So
That's so true.
you lean into every resource possible, okay? Because at the end of the day, you'll get what you want. You'll feel awesome. You'll grow. And I think even the best part is you get to turn around and help the next person up. I've been there. I've been there before. I know what it feels like, what you're going through. Let me show you what I did. Let me be there for you. All right. You got it. You guys are the leaders. You guys are the leaders of your group because you're stepping out of your comfort zone. You're doing something that other people aren't doing. And believe me, it takes time for people to understand and appreciate that, what you're doing. And sometimes you don't feel understood for a long period of time, but that doesn't matter. That's part of it as well. All right. As long as you feel that you're growing and you're doing something good for you, it'll eventually catch on, and you'll be able to be that inspirational person that you already are.
That helpful, Rima. Brilliant.
Cool. Well, Rima, just reach out to me afterwards, okay? Or if anybody else wants to go through that process as well, there's no hassle at all. It'll take about 45 minutes or an hour. There's no hassle. I'd gladly jump on.
That's very nice of you. Thank you so much, Alan. Maggie and Deborah, you're okay? Do you have any questions?
No, not at all.
Okay. If you have any questions, then Alan will be happy to answer them. I can put them forward to him if you think
Perfect.
of anything overnight. But thank you so much for your time, Alan.
You're very
Really
welcome, guys.
appreciate it. And so many insights in that.
Brilliant. Listen, girls, Merry Christmas. Enjoy it. All right. And have a ball. Don't forget, you've actually already achieved your goal that you wanted to achieve. It's already happened. You just need to pull it into the present moment. All right. And that's the one that you're in right now. All right, cool. I'll leave you guys. Talk to you later.
Thank
Good
you
evening.
so much, Alan.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, ladies. Did you find that useful?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Fantastic.
Just what I needed. Just what I needed
That
to
is
hear,
brilliant.
actually.
I'm really glad.
Yeah,
Especially with this season coming up, I think we can make use of these tools and tips.
definitely.
Fab.
It's just that, changing the narrative and all
Yeah,
that. It's just,
exactly.
Yep.
Okay. Have a lovely evening.
You too.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.